Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Rev 1211 Life. We are actually in the book of Titus right now, and Titus is a book where Paul has sent Titus to the island of Crete to lead and head some of the churches that were popping up in Crete. Now Paul and Titus had a history because Titus was a soldier in the faith. And he had also Paul had already sent Titus to Corinth a couple of times already. So Paul trusted him as a dependable soldier in the faith. So he sent him to Crete. And that was a place where churches were popping up, but there was false teaching going on. And the Cretans were known as, matter of fact, it's got it here, they were cruel people, they were liars, cruel to animals, and lazy gluttons. So they were actually known to be liars. So if there's any of you old enough and you remember your grandparents or somebody's calling you a Cretan, you're a Cretan. They're just saying they got that from the island of Crete because those people were known to be liars. So I'm going to just hit chapter 1 and verses 10 to 14. And it tells us here that for there are many rebellious people who engage in useless talk and deceive others. This is especially true of those who insist on circumcision for salvation. They must be silenced because they are turning whole families away from the truth by their false teaching, and they do it only for money. Even one of their own men, a prophet from Crete, has said about them, the people of Crete are all liars, cruel animals, and lazy gluttons. This is true. So reprimand them sternly to make them strong in the faith. They must stop listening to Jewish myths and the commands of people who have turned away from the faith and from the truth. So yeah, well, there you go. And as Paul's doing it, Paul's warning Titus about these false teachers and these doctrines that are being taught. And he's actually giving them warning. He's saying these are the ways that you can even identify these false teachers. And you can identify these today by the same thing. They focus more on attention on themselves than on Christ. You see a lot of false teachers doing that. Ask you to do something that will compromise or dilute your faith. De-emphasize the divine nature of Christ or the inspiration of the Bible. People will tell you that Jesus, yes, he was just a good man, had a lot of good ideas, had some good teachings, but they deny the resurrection and the power of Jesus Christ and his resurrection. So they'll just make him like Christ, like, oh yeah, he was okay. Then they'll urge believers to make decisions based on human judgment than on prayer and biblical guidelines. So it's kind of like today when people are making up their own ideas of what Christianity looks like, making their own ideas about what salvation looks like. They're just making their own ideas of how to live this life out, thinking that they can live any way they want based on how they feel and expect to still go to heaven and be amongst a holy God. So those are the things that mislead people when Paul is talking to Titus about. Talk to these people and tell them, please, just don't listen to these people. So I'm asking you today to not listen to these people, the false prophets that are coming along. And I've said it before, and then I'll say it again. Look, if somebody's coming along and they're telling you something new about the gospel, something brand new you ain't never heard, it's probably not true. And if someone is telling you something that's true and from the Bible, yeah, it's not new. So anybody that's telling you something new and how you should feel because times have changed, don't fall for that. The truth of the word, the truth is in this Bible. The gospel remains the same. So that's what Paul is charging Titus with when he goes to the island of Crete, to kind of straighten those things out a little bit. But that's our first look at the book of Titus. We'll be back again, Lord willing, soon to hit chapter 2. God bless you.